Hello, everybody, and I hope you all have had a great week. As you know, we meet here every Friday at 11:30. We are on live, in case any one of you are wondering that we are live. And our call-in number is 661-795-0475. Thank you for joining Vibe Talk Finally Friday session. We are up and available to be online with you. And we are glad we're here. Thank you so much for keeping in touch with us. Thank you. As we're here, I want you to think about what your challenges has been during this week. And everybody has challenges. And that's why we come together. Excuse me. As a community, we like to help you to see that everyone is dealing with something. What are you dealing with? What has got you through? What has been something that you've been through and are facing your lion? Today, we are going to be talking about realities of things happening. What things might I be talking about? Um, what things might I be talking about? Let's see it. And if you guys are here, do me a favor. Can you please put it in your, or put your hand up? Put your hand up. Put your electronic hand up. Tell us where you're from. And in order for our programs to keep running the way that they do, you may donate at any time. And I do mean any time. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about our weekly things. So we're going to cover so many things. Today is all about facing things that still hurt. You know, kids have owies. We're going to talk about owies, things that make us feel ouched. Now, as you know, we get together for our workshops and we do heart-to-heart work. And let me show you what I mean. Heart, Heart, to hard, Hard work. And when you come here, we're just not a group that talks and talks and talks. What we want to do is encourage, restore. We want to help you to see that you are not alone. So we are Vibe Talk finally, Vibe Talk Facing the Lion, finally, Friday. What have you been challenged with? So, things that still hurt. I'm going to talk about that because I think it's important. What we do is name what hurts. And all of us, no matter where we live, no matter if we're man, woman, young person, we all have things that still hurt. Whether we bring them in conversation, whether it has challenged our lives. And when we think about the challenges have a definite impact in our life. Challenges make us feel like we need to do something. And what I'd like you to do today is name something, honestly, that hurts you. And my list is long, but I have accepted the reality of still caring. Still caring. If you cannot hear me, do me a favor and put your electronic hand up. And ladies and gentlemen, our number is 661-795-0475. Our line is open in case you want to call us. And you can be online with me. Today's subject is facing and accepting things that still hurt. What do I mean? Well, let's find out what, why, how, where, when. Betrayal. How many of you, when I say the word betrayal, have experienced betrayal? And in our workshop today, we are looking for people that are bold enough to talk about it, bold enough to be honest and say, yes, that happened to me. Yes, I've done that to someone else, but betrayal is not me. Come a little closer as I say it. Yes, betrayal has happened to me. Yes, betrayal, I've done that to someone else, but betrayal is not me. Because some of us have had the experience of betrayal. Now the key is to be honest with yourself and really look at it, because there's nobody walking around today that says, have you been betrayed today? I guarantee you. And that's why we have Finally Friday, because many of you are challenged with such things like this betrayal, rejection. Some of you are facing divorces, estrangement, grief. What are some other things? And you just can't seem to heal. Your challenge is to heal it. But first you must acknowledge. And what are you going to acknowledge? You're going to acknowledge the fact that it hurts. It really hurts. I've really hurt someone. And then you can say, ouch, that really hurts. So I want you to not live with unnaming your pain. What language are you using? We all have language. Some of us have bad language. Some of us have bad grammar. Some of us are very quiet. Some of us have words, but we don't know how to put them. So I want you to not live with that thing that has hurt you. I think about last week. We were here last week. I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank you who are still listening, because our podcast, Vibetalkfacingthelion podcast, records our group sessions. So you're able to get them. And when you find them, let me know what you think. So, stop living and accepting, or stop living, with the unnamed thing that make you say, ouch, that really hurt, right? And I want to give you an illustration. You know me, I love using illustrations, but I promise I won't use so many, because I know that as I use so many, you can lose the thought of what it is that I'm trying to convey to you. How many of you have had your thumb, finger, toe stubbed? You either hurt your toe because you got up at night and you couldn't see and you stubbed your toe. How many of you have ever stepped on a Lego? If you have, you know that hurts. Or how many of you have gotten glass in your foot, or a door slammed on your finger or hand? How did you respond? Did you just say nothing? You see, the thought here is that you instantly reacted. No doubt when that happened, you had some kind of language, whether it was ouch, whether you said ouch in 23 different languages, whether you used different grammar, and you had to react. You no doubt can talk about that pain now. You remember it. You may not feel it, but you can say, I remember that time. And that's where I want to get you to remember that time without the hurt. But we must first choose. And I forgot my whiteboard again. Believe me, I'm going to use it. I'm going to definitely have it next week, because you know me, I like to do the whiteboard so we can connect our words. Ouch, it hurts. Name the hurt. Don't live with the pain without naming how it felt. Some people will say, I don't want to talk about that thing that still hurts. By the way, that's our title today. The thing that still hurts. The thing that still hurts. So now we have to understand what we must do. We acknowledge, yeah, that really hurt. We can talk about that. Is that an easy thing to talk about? Some of us say, well, yeah, sure. When I was a little girl, I remember playing in the car, and my finger got stuck in the between the window where when you roll up the window and that inside where the window is, that rubber piece. My finger got stuck in there, and I was screaming for dear life. I will never ever forget that. You asked me today, hey, by the way, how does your hand feel? I'm going to tell you, oh, it's better. That's what I want you to be. It's better from that thing that still hurts. We must accept it. We must learn how to turn on the switch of how we feel. Now, there's impact from the thing that still hurts. Let's be realistic about it, because you know me as a person. I'm realistic about things. As a certified counselor and life coach, I'm still realistic. When I say switch, it's not like a life of electricity that you switch on the light to get more light. I want you to switch in that your brain begins to master that thing that still hurts. Your brain begins to give you access to say, hey, guess what? I'm not that. It happened. I'm accepting it. I am not that. There's some days where you're going to feel great. On other days, you're going to feel like life is sitting on top of you. I want to say that again. There are days that you're going to feel great. Well, there are other days that you feel like life is sitting on top of you. This is a process. And know that there is nothing wrong with you other than you just trying to gain the mastery over yourself. If you need to take that quiet time, if you need to think and reflect, I ask that you do that what is safe for you. You know that switching on and switching off like a light? I don't want you to think for one moment that you have to snap out of it. Because anybody who's ever told you that, to snap out of it, needs to understand and be able to relate to that thing that really hurts. So we have now admission, saying that something really hurts. What is that thing that really hurts? Acknowledging it, accepting it. You are not that thing that really hurts. Rejection, some people are really hurt. Some people have been really impacted by the thing that really hurts. Rejection really hurts. Have you ever had any kind of rejection? Ouch. That really hurts. All right? And you say, well, I don't want to do this because what if? I don't want to do that because what if? We always think about what if, what if, what if, what if, what if. It's kind of like we're bargaining with ourselves. We say, what if? What if? I want you to know that what has happened in your life, that thing that really hurts, you cannot rewrite it. You cannot act as if it didn't happen. That chapter of your life is closed as of today. How do I mean that? You just rip the page out and throw it out? No. You are acknowledging nobody else has acknowledged that thing that really hurts. Each time that you say, what if, what's happening to you emotionally is that you become attached to something that does not exist. Remember, today is your day to say, it no longer. I'm no longer going to refer to that. And the only time I'm going to refer to it is when I'm telling my story. I never thought personally that I could come together to take that chapter and say, that really hurt. Now that it has happened to me, I can say, that really hurt. That was then. I am now. What have you gained from the thing that really hurt? Remember that I said about the experience of a hand or a finger or your toe being stubbed? You say, ouch! You find a language to say that really hurts. Well, you need a language now in the present to be able to say that which was impacted me thus far. And because of that thing that really hurt, you can now turn those pains into purpose. What do you learn from it? Even if you say to me right now, Miss Nisi, you know what I gained from it? I gained from this acknowledgement that when the hurt happened, ouch, when the hurt happened, I cried. When the hurt happened, God darn it, gosh darn it really affected me. You see, acknowledgement does something for us. We have acknowledged something. And you know what I call it? It's called to peace. Your acknowledgement of something that has happened to you without letting it tear your life up, without letting it emotionally destroy you, without allowing it to impact your life in a negative way. It is impactful. And that's why I'm here today leading these sessions, because there's so many of you all around us, not just in my community of the Antelope Valley, but worldwide. You're still walking around stubbing your toes. You're still walking around with your hand caught in the window. You're still walking around with your hand slammed in the door. And perhaps at that time there was nobody to acknowledge, who had acknowledged or taken care of what really hurt. So you had to do it. You did it. You. Ouch. That really hurts. So I want you to not do the what ifs. Because that what if You're no longer part of that because you've taken the challenge. And if this is the first time that you are with us today, I celebrate your challenge of naming what hurts. So I want you to understand that but nobody likes that thing that hurts. Nobody likes it. No one ever came into my office. No one ever called and said, "Oh, I really like the pain that I'm experiencing." But you know what they did do? And you know what you can do? You can survive that thing that really hurts. That thing that really hurts. You have survived that thing that really hurts. You've accepted it. You've said, I survived. I survived my grief. I survived my separation. I survived death of a loved one. I survived that really hurt. In fact, you so survived it that you are now at a place where you want to tell somebody. You want to tell somebody how you survived, how you became purpose. Although you had that thing that really hurt, you turned what was pain into something purposeful. I dare you not beat yourself up over it. Many of you, though, are still doing it. You're holding on to that thing that really hurts. I don't ask that you get rid of it. I ask that you acknowledge it. Why acknowledge it, you say, Miss Nisi? You're going to acknowledge it so that you can start to process the unnamed thing that you keep saying is hurting you. See, I had to do that. And none of it felt good. In fact, I thought the wind would be knocked out of me just to name that which really hurt me. I thought that I would not survive. I thought that if I were to name it, what would happen? What if I didn't survive it? But I am here, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to acknowledge that you can survive. I want you to choose what has been challenging in your life, that thing that has really hurt you. And I want you to take it by the horns, and I want you to no longer dismiss it. I want you to talk about it. And when you talk about it, choose very carefully how you want to do that. You see, Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast and all of its sessions and workshop, we talk about it. We have numbers. We have where you can leave the 661 number, 795-0475. You can text me your story. You don't even have to put a name on it. But you see, your story is survival. You have turned your pain, your that thing that really hurts. You discovered it, you acknowledged, You accepted it, and you went through your healing process. So what do we call that? We call it you owned it. You own that. Many people say, you own that. And today we're going to give everybody their flowers who have had to challenge themselves just to get through that thing that really hurt. We're no more going to act as if it didn't happen. We're going to accept it. We're going to accept the challenge, accept our lions of things that really happen. But how? How do we get through them? Acceptance, acknowledgement, and truth. The pain, the pain, the pain. Ouch, the pain. Seems unbearable. Your pain is real. Just as my pain is real. You have narrated it. You have been able to build. You've been determined to try to figure it out. But I don't want you to be stuck. I dare you not be stuck, because when you're stuck, you can't grow. You don't have room to breathe. Life suffocates you of the real you that you can become. That's why you're possible. But I want you to think about rebuilding from your story. How do you rebuild it? I want you to think about asking yourself questions. And when you tell your story about that thing that really hurts, does it stifle you? Or is it one of empowerment and impactful rights that heralds you into courage, strength, hope, faith? You choose. Or is your story from that thing that really hurt, does it keep you barred as if you were living with heavy weights on you? Does it keep you from choosing power? Does it make you powerless? Are you someone of courage? We hear of lots of people of courage. We have lists long of courageous people. You know what they do? They tell their stories. They write books. And we say, wow, they really went through that. I want to tell you that we are putting together a very first book, and we're going to talk about it. It's not released. It's got a few things, and it's just for those who want to conquer. And the book that's coming out, the pictures are worth 1,000 words. They're one of faith, one of hope, one of your being possible. And we hope to distribute it to every person that has listened to us. We hope by the things that people are looking at that they say, wow, we want more of that. It's almost complete. And we can't wait. Why am I mentioning that? Because I chose to do with my pain to bring the purpose. Maybe there's a doctor that we go to. Maybe there's a lawyer that we have. Maybe there's a fireman, a policeman, and he's trying to tell his story, and he's trying to draw from that story things that will empower him and not make him feel stuck. When you look at this Vibe Talk magazine, we hope that you'll do just that. You will have strength to purpose your life, although you were challenged with that thing that really hurt. Nothing is too big, nothing is too small. I have the Vibe Talk sessions for a reason. The Vibe Talk sessions are to empower, are to let you talk. You got a story to tell. You don't have to make up one. Every person living has had some pain that has impacted them, you and I alike. So we have to understand the thing that hurt us in order to even mention it, that thing that hurt us. We must know it. We must name it. We must claim it. We must acknowledge it. We must become aware and not walk around like it's untouchable. But I encourage you to find the safest place to do it. I see a lot of people. I see people that are in all walks of life, and nothing surprises me. But I'll tell you what, the empowerment that I want them to feel about themselves is truly a workout. And once they get it, and once they nurture their brains and their emotions and their thought processing, and they start to take that ugly pain, they stop crying. Why? Because through those tears, they drew strength. Through those what ifs, they never gave up. Through the things that they thought that they would just die, they couldn't survive, they did it anyway. They took a leap of faith, and they started by telling their story. Everyone living has a story. So when I think about response, when I think about response, healing, healing is the biggest breakthrough that you and I could ever have. I want you to think for a moment, ladies and gentlemen, the last time you healed from something, from that thing that really hurt. Maybe you've had to go through tragedy, and you say, ouch, that really hurts every time I think about it. That's okay. You might even question yourself, Lord, how am I ever going to get through this? How will I ever survive this? And that time that time that you're questioning yourself all throughout the days, all throughout the weeks. You've been getting up. You've been trying to challenge yourself as you're faced with challenges, and you're still dealing with that thing that really hurts. Your breakthrough has been happening. Why? Come a little closer. Is because you have been trying. You never said, I can't survive it. You never said, I'm not going to survive. You questioned it. Like that what if. And you began to master it. And so here you are today. Even if today is not that day, someday will happen for you. I want you to think about the moments of strength for you. You know, all of us, and I want to talk about this because we've all experienced it. And you lose someone that you deeply love. However you lost him, whether it be divorce, separation, and you have those quiet moments, and you're grieving the loss, you find strength in those quiet moments. Your tears are an undeniable source of the beginning breakthrough of healing. And I always say this, and I want you to know that it is a fact that healing is the body's way of getting rid of pain. And we're talking about pain today. We're talking about that thing that really hurts. But we'll have a podcast or a session on how tears bring joy. We're going to talk about the tears that can make a grown man say, ouch, that thing that hurts, that really hurts. You can look for life in your strength of days. You know that one where you said, I got to go to work. I know that thing that really hurts happened. I got to go to work. And so you dry your tears. You get to work. You put in a day's work. You come home, and all over again, you begin to cry because you have those reflective moments. And every time that you say, I got to get out of this bed, I got to get off this couch, I got to get out of wherever, and you say, I got to go to work, that's your strength. Whatever the strength is that you're using, as long as it's healthy, those are your breakthroughs. Oh, I didn't forget about the stories that I always talk to you guys. There was a young woman who had a husband and a son, and they loved to motorcycle ride. And so one day, as she was home with her family members, the son and her son, and her husband decided that they wanted to ride their motorcycles on an errand. And as she was sitting down with her family enjoying the visit, a call came. And the thing I'm about to tell you, that thing really hurt her. It was an accident, and it was involving her son and her husband. That was the thing that really hurt. Before she got to the accident, all she could think of was, are they okay? If you've ever experienced that, you wonder about your loved one, your friends, whoever it is. You wonder when you get a call like that, when you get a call you just don't know, and your whole life is sitting on your chest. As she got there, her husband lay lifeless in the street, and her son lay lifeless on the other part of the street. Need I say more? That thing really hurt. There's a positive part to the story. And she thought that she could never survive it, losing the love of her lives too at the same time. Oh boy. Painful. Can you relate to that thing that really hurt? Maybe yours is not that drastic. Maybe the thing you're dealing with is heavy and you just don't know how to cope. But I tell you, you are possible from that thing that really hurts. I want you to think about your quiet moments, your breakthrough moments, those moments where you say, I gotta keep living. I remember when that time was my time. Didn't know how I was gonna get through. Nobody could tell me to snap out of it. I didn't know if I ever wanted to see another day. But I'm here. And I'm here to tell you that thing that really hurts, you too can break through. It is possible. I want to thank those of you who take the opportunity to listen. I want to have more sessions like this. We are in the midst of changing offices, so right now we have an undisclosed address, which is not the address that we've been having. We are moving to a new office, but we do have an undisclosed one for those of you who are serious about your healing, your breakthroughs, your coming to challenge yourself, because we'll have more topics like this. And you'll see where you can donate if you'd like to. We appreciate it. We want to be able to build a community of people that want to come together. I am a certified life coach and counselor. I take my training very seriously. And if you see us on Instagram, Facebook, say hello to us. You can share our stories. We ask that you don't change the thought of it. And it's being recorded for your listening pleasure. Share it with someone. if you are a person that have identified that thing that really hurts, tell us your story. You can even text me personally, 661-795-0475. Our Finally Friday sessions is all about the challenges that you're going through. Call in, leave us a message. Our phones are being reorganized, so this is a safe place for anybody to text because it reaches me directly. And our 800 number is being restored, so it's still our 800 number, but if you want a quickness, we 661-795-0475. I want to say happy healing to all of you that have had your breakthrough moments. We welcome you. If you have any questions, if you want to know where to find us, please let us know. And it's not just for our community. You can share it with anybody. As long as you have a computer, we're doing online sessions for Finally Friday until we are able to let you know our undisclosed place. We want to keep it safe for everyone. And we want you to be serious. If you're not serious, then I'm okay with that. But this is what I do. This is my pain into purpose to be able to help so many who were like me and being able to find that thing or those things that really hurt. Thank you for joining me, Nisi. And we are affiliated with Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Catch our podcast on any of your favorite streaming podcasts. And by the way, once we get this up, it'll be on YouTube. I want to thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you next Friday at Finally Friday group session. Take care.